You are listening to the E2C Network, where the Auburn family speaks.
War Eagle Auburn fans, and welcome to Tiger Track, your source for Auburn track and field news and discussion. I'm your host, Jessica Loomis, and I'm here with my husband, Kyle, to discuss the SEC Outdoor Championship, which took place May 12th through 14th at the Ole Miss Track and Field Complex in Oxford, Mississippi.
With each passing meet becomes one less meet we have with Coach Ralph Spry.
Wow, way to just be a Debbie Downer from the get-go.
Well, I'm just trying to get all emotions in here because we're going to talk about a lot of good things from this SEC championship. So we got to have all sides of the emotional spectrum, Jessica. And that's what I'm here for, balance. The yin to your yang, the confusion to your fusion.
What is happening on my show?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Kyle, I'm glad you're here.
You sound like it.
I am not. But here we are. So, Auburn. They went to the SEC Championships.
And they did a thing. They did a lot of good things.
I hate when you say that. I hate when anybody says that.
What's wrong with saying that?
That is so, ugh.
Is that like a millennial thing or something like that?
It's just an annoying thing.
Somebody's in a bad mood here.
Oh my gosh.
Why are you in a bad mood when we have so many good things to talk about from SEC? Here, look. See, I can be on both sides of the emotional spectrum. I talked about the depressing side, but now I'm super happy because I want to talk about the happy things.
Great. So Auburn sent 24 men and 22 women to compete. Unfortunately, though, it rained the whole time they were there. The rain delays on Friday, though, it caused a 5-hour and 15-minute delay, which made the meet restart at 7 p.m. and conclude at 12:45 a.m.
The crazy thing about this was, as some of these highlights we're going to talk about in a second came through, they were coming in so late that I was like, what is going on? I don't remember this. And, obviously, we were busy on a Friday night, so it's hard to keep up with, was it a weather delay or is it just how long it's taking? But yeah, this is crazy that they had to run that late into the night and throw and all that stuff.
Yes. So that really stinks for them.
And imagine the turnaround they had to do the next day to try to get all the events in one weekend that they have to do for all the SEC teams.
Absolutely insane. So, Kyle, you want to start off with some highlights?
The highlights, and we have quite a few. We have actually 4 SEC champions to talk about, and then a couple of other good things as well we want to mention. I'll start us off with some throwing things, because that's where the majority of these are. We've got Maddie Malone winning the SEC championship for the hammer throw with a toss of 69.39 meters. Way to go, Maddie. That was just the first of what was going to be an amazing weekend for Auburn. Followed up by our girl Ashley Carter, who says, I know y'all have heard of a girl named Kylie Carter who did these type of things, but I'm here too to win the SEC javelin throw with a throw of 54.90 meters, but is also, especially Jessica loves this, a personal best.
Yes.
Incredible.
Absolutely. Moving on, we had Joyce Camelli. She won the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase, which is not a shocker to any of us. She won it with a time of 9 minutes, 49.13 seconds, which is also a facility record by 9 seconds.
So let all that said, not only is she the SEC champion, she set the away team, as an away team, this is a visiting thing, their facility record.
Haha.
You like mocking Ole Miss?
I'm just saying, haha.
I mean, it was his old, Coach Spry's old stomping ground, so it's kind of like he's retaking his territory as he leaves.
There you go. Mara Hewalt also got a gold medal in the women's discus with a throw of 56.21 meters.
4 SEC championships. That makes me so happy.
I know.
4 times we were up on the podium just looking down at all the little peoples of the SEC saying, ha ha!
We also have 2 silver medals.
We do. So close, but they still did such a great job to represent us as silver medals. We have first, Dontavius Hill, placed second in the high jump. Great job by him. And then it's not necessarily a surprise, but I think this was the one that kind of shocked me more than the others, like when I saw them come through in terms of where they were placing, just because this is the SEC and we know how great talent there is, how many great track and field teams there are. James Corson, second overall with the men's pole vault. And he's done great things all year, but the fact that out of all the SEC teams, second overall, that's a great job. Not to be outdone, though, Presley Weems broke her own school record in the 800-meter run with a time of 2 minutes and 3.5 seconds. So if you can't get a medal, at least break some records for yourself. And Presley Weems, that's what she does best.
Literally. All right, so let's go to all the results, not just the highlights. Starting off with the women's 100 meter, Aaliyah Francis placing 17th out of 25 competitors with a time of 11.86 seconds. Aaliyah also competed in the women's 200 meter, placing 11th out of 34 competitors with her fastest time of the season of 23.43 seconds.
The women's 400 meter hurdles, 3 people to talk about. We got Asia Jinks, 8th out of 9th in the finals. As the way I understand this is the only one to make it to the finals for us. 58.25 seconds was her run. We also had Tyler Colbert and Jennifer Dietrich, who were in the preliminaries for this event. 11th out of 15 there for Tyler. 60.43 second run for her. And then Jennifer was 14th out of 15, 63.54 run there. Presley Weems, we've already talked about her, but we'll just say it once again because it's so much fun. In the 800 meter run, 6th out of 9 competitors in the finals. 2 minutes, 3.5 seconds with that record for her.
Let's just talk about that. Let's pause here just for a second. At the Tiger Classic, way in the beginning of the season, Presley ran that 800 meter. Presley ran that 800 meter in a decent time of 2 minutes, 30 seconds. In the SECs, Presley ran that in 2 minutes, 3 seconds.
I think she whammed that too.
She whammed that. 27 seconds difference. Now, right in the middle of the season, she was hitting 206, which is significantly faster also. Kind of tells you a little bit that probably at the Tiger Classic, she wasn't at her best. But
the beginning of the season.
Even 3 seconds shaved off in 2 meets is a significant amount. So, I mean, that's just absolutely incredible. And I just really want to highlight that 2 minutes and 3 seconds for a female in the 800 is absolutely incredible.
Well, and think about what Presley's been doing all season. She's been in cross country, indoor track and field competing, and now outdoor. And there's a lot of other athletes doing this as well. But it's your first of that season. You can understand that first one's probably not going to be your best. But what you like to see is a progression of improvement. And then ultimately, when it counts the most, at least in conference competition, you bring your best to the table.
She definitely did. For the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase, like we talked about, Joyce Camelli getting that first place finish. There were 17 competitors in the steeplechase. She ran a time of 9 minutes, 49.1 seconds. Great job, Joyce.
Again, it's kind of not like I'm trying to belittle it, but I'm just so used to Joyce doing things like this.
It's so right. It's so
we're taking
wonderful.
her for granted.
It's a wonderful thing that we are expecting the first place finish, right?
It is.
For the women's 1,500 meter, we had Hallie Porterfield placing 26th out of 32 athletes with a time of 4 minutes, 35.6 seconds.
The women's 5,000 meter run. This is where we start getting really long. We got 3 competitors to talk about. Joyce Camelli, 6th out of 27 competitors there. 15 minutes, 59.2 seconds. Sarah Pacer in 25th. 17 minutes, 45.9 seconds. And then Hallie Porterfield in 27th, 18 minutes, 28.9 seconds. And then this is what I found really interesting because this is the first time we're talking about this. This is the first time we're even bringing this up.
Yeah.
If you thought 3,000 was long, if you thought 5,000 long, throwing a steeplechase nose, you thought that was tough. 10,000 meter run.
6.2 miles on a track.
I'm so glad you had that ready. I was hoping you did.
Well, if a 5K is 3.1, 10K would be double, so 6.2.
You know I don't do the math on this show.
Okay.
Which, in
I'm
filled
just
with numbers,
saying.
that's a terrible thing to say for a
So,
co-host.
Kyle, how about this math?
Okay.
How many times around the track is that?
25. Thank you. Don't leave me hanging.
10,000 divided by a 400 meter track. 25 laps around that track. I just... Sarah Pacer has earned all of my kudos just for going around that track 25 times.
Here's what I want the listeners to do. Now, there's probably some of you listening that are track and field fans and aficionados. You know this. But real quick, we're going to take like a 2-second pause. I want everybody to think to themselves how long that potentially takes them to run around. 25 times is what you said?
Yeah.
Think about that. 1 second. All right, you got your guess in your head? 36 minutes, 59.5 seconds for Sarah Pacer, who ran this 16th out of 19. Why on earth would you do this in the SC Championships to yourself? Just because? I
don't know, but the fact that she was able to compete in this, placing 16th, I count this as a huge stinking win.
That's humongous. I mean,
Kyle,
I'm tired just looking at it.
How fast could you do that?
There's not even a fast.
I know.
There's not a fast with that.
Oh my God.
I mean, I would be No, I don't even want to think about it. It's that embarrassing.
Yeah. For the women's hammer throw, 3 competitors. Maddie Malone getting that gold medal like we talked about. 69.39 meters was her toss. Danny Gregory placing 10th with her season best of 59.83 meters. And then Jocelyn Budwig placing 15th and 55.28 meters. For the women's javelin, we had Ashley Carter, her gold medal, first place, season best, 54.90 meters. Kiera McCarroll placing 6th in 50.35 meters. And Shania Hawley placing 11th in 46.81 meters. Really outstanding tosses from all ladies.
Can I just say I'm so proud of Ashley because you never want to be the person, or the saying is the guy that replaces the guy. I know we're talking about the women here. You never want to be the guy that replaces the guy. That is very true a lot of the time. And when you're following in the footsteps of someone like Kylie Carter, who did so many great things while she was here, it can be a lot of pressure to be that lead person in the javelin toss.
And then here we are.
And then she's an SEC champion.
Like, what the?
Well done. Well done. All right, long jump. We've got Janiyah Jones, 6th out of 17 competitors with her best jump of the season, 6.41 meters. Essence Thomas got 9th overall, 6 meters flat for her. Imani Jones, 17th. 5.43 meters, which was her best jump of the season. The triple jump, which is always confounding to watch and to even think that athletes can do this. Essence Thomas, 14th out of 16, 12.23 meters, which was her best jump and the triple jump of the season.
So for women's pole vault, we had Lexi Lena Weber placing 12th out of 14 competitors with a vault of 3.90 meters. Women's shot put, we have Mara Hewalt with 11th place out of 16 competitors in 15.53 meters.
Mara Hewalt has, had a great discus throw, which we're going to talk about here in just a second.
Yeah.
First out of 17, 56.21 meters was her best of the season, the best in the SEC competition. Amazing performance by her. Jocelyn Budwig got 8th overall, so in the top half of the field for the discus, but she also had her best throw of the season, 51.29 meters. That is an awesome performance. We've known the ladies have been killing it in terms of throwing things. Yeah. Basically, don't make these girls mad because they can throw things real fast and they would hurt you. And that's those ladies, Jessica. Your hand-eye coordination needs improvement.
Yeah, we won't talk about the picture frame I already broke today then.
That's a sore subject. Bring that one up here.
It was an accident!
Sure. I think there were some things...
It was 100% an accident.
Sure.
Hey Auburn fans, I want to take a quick time out from this episode to bring your attention to something very special. Here at the E2C Network, we pride ourselves on bringing you the best content for Auburn fans out there. And best of all, it's free to you. But just because it's free doesn't mean there aren't costs, especially when you have a library of hundreds of podcasts, videos, blogs, and more. Many of you have reached out and asked how you can support this network in the past. Well, now I have your answer. It's called the E2C Network Booster Club over at patreon.com/E2C Network. There you'll find a membership monthly reward system where you can sign up for as little as $1 and get different perks at different tiers. Some of those perks include things such as apparel, eligibility to join us on future podcasts, recognition as an E2C Network booster, exclusive communications, and bonus content that is available nowhere else. If you love this network and want to help us keep producing podcasts like this one, please head on over to patreon.com/E2C Network to join the E2C Network Booster Club. You can also get there by going to our website, e2cnetwork.com/support. Whether you decide to join or not, we are still so appreciative that you would support us by just listening and being here, because each and every one of you is part of our E2C Network family. Well, that's it. Timeout's over. Let's get back into the episode.
Would you like to do the...
Yes, I'm so glad you're giving me the option.
I'm going to, be chivalrous here and let you talk about your things.
The 2 relay events, my favorite, I hold nothing back saying that they're my favorites. I'm not partial at all.
Are you sure?
Women's 4x400. Asia Jinks, Tyler Colbert, Jen Dietrich, Aaliyah Francis. They placed 8th out of 9 teams with a time of 3 minutes, 37.1 seconds. We also had a women's 4x1 team. Tyler Colbert, Aaliyah Francis, Zatoria Thompson, and Nia Benton Andrews, placing 7th out of 7 teams in 45.58 seconds. Here's what I'm going to say before you jump in.
Okay.
I am so excited that we had relay teams in the SEC. I don't care what place they came in.
You
The
just wanna see
fact
it.
that they had enough athletes to compete in a relay team in the SEC championships speaks volumes to how far this program has come.
Yeah.
Quite a few years ago, we didn't even have the option of having a relay team. This year, there were 8. Well, not 8 because Aaliyah and Tyler competed in both, but 6 athletes that were relay prepared.
Right.
That's a lot of preparation. We've talked about it. I'm not going to go back into that soapbox, but there's a lot that goes into being on a relay team. So I'm just so excited that they were there, that they competed, and just really proud of those ladies.
Yeah, 2 things I'll note here is obviously getting to represent not just the 4x400, but the 4x100. So both
Exactly.
events. That's really cool that Auburn's name came up for each of
Exactly.
these events. You know, and there's only 7 teams that of the SEC that competed in the 4x100 alone.
That's my point.
So that's how special that is. But also, look how close the 4x400 was to matching their best of the season at the pin relays.
Yep.
That just about a little under 2 seconds off from getting that. So
You know what that could have been?
what's that?
Handoff.
Jessica's seething over here about handoffs.
Could have been.
No, we're not going to get you started on that.
If I was a track and field coach, this could be a book. If I was a track and field coach, I promise you, we would spend hours upon hours upon hours upon hours. And I know they do, so don't hear me wrong. But that would be my thing that I harp on, are handoffs, because I screwed up a handoff one time, and I have never forgotten it. Never, never, never. That was in, the high school championships, and it was my fault, and I screwed it up, and it was nobody's fault but mine. And I have never, ever forgotten that feeling of, we would have gotten a medal if I hadn't messed that handoff up.
You said you weren't going to get in your soapbox, but here you are.
Here I am. But at least I'm blaming myself
Well,
and
here
not Coach Spry.
That is very true. All right, rounding out the women, I know it's easy to talk about the big, things, and we want to recognize those as many times as we can, the SEC champions from this field for the women, because they're the main representatives from that. But who else sticks out to you? And I think I can answer that for you.
Yep. What do you think I'm going
It's
to
the
say?
relay teams.
The relay teams. I'm just so proud that we were here. Really.
I'm proud of Presley Weems, to be honest with you.
I knew that. So that was going to be my talking point, but I knew you were going to pick Presley, so I didn't want us to both pick her.
It's because we get to spend covering track and field and cross country the most time with the distance runners and get to know them longer than everybody else.
That's true.
And so we've seen what she's done. We've seen the way she's represented us in so many different events and sports.
When you think about it, it is absolutely sick how good this girl is. Honestly, the fact that she can transition from cross country to middle distance, this is,
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, she just went from
literally
distance to
she
middle.
went to distance running to middle distance track and field, where she is sprinting around that track. To get 2:03.5, she's sprinting. Kyle, she did 1 lap around that track in a 2-lap race. She did 1 lap faster than I've ever done in my entire life. That is sick.
That's not saying much, though. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. You're
Hey,
much
in my
faster
high
than
school
me.
days, I was fast.
Back in my day.
I qualified for the NCAAs in the 400 on my own, not a relay team. That was really a big moment for me.
Just a humble brag from Jessica right now. But
I'm
hey,
also now 33,
I know, I'm just giving you a
so
hard
this
time.
was
You
a
were-
half lifetime ago.
I wish I could have seen you in your prime. Anyway, let's talk about those that are in their prime. We got to talk about the men now. We'll start with the men's 100-meter run. We've got 4 people to talk about. 1 made it into the finals, a name we know very well, Dante Brown. 6th out of 9 in the finals, 10.2 seconds for him. Everybody else in the preliminaries, Christopher Grant, 12th out of 33, 10.45 seconds. Brandon Smiley, 19th, 10.66 seconds. And then Jason Reese, 23rd, 10.78 seconds. Also had the men's 110-meter hurdles. Trey Reynolds was our lone competitor. 12 out of 14 competitors, 14.37 seconds, which was his best run and jump, since it's a both thing, of the season.
For the men's 200 meter, we had Brandon Smiley placing 19th out of 36 in 20.97 seconds. And for the men's 400 meter hurdles, Caden Seal placing 17th out of 18 competitors in 55.13 seconds.
For the 1,500-meter run for the men, 3 people to talk about. Names we're very familiar with from this point, especially for these distance runs. We got Ryan Kinane, 6th out of 12th in the finals, 3 minutes 42.1 seconds. Tommy McDonough, And Cooper Atkins were in the preliminaries, 14th out of 36 for Tommy, 3 minutes, 46.5 seconds. And then Cooper Atkins, 24th out of 36, 3 minutes, 52.8 seconds. The men's 5,000 meter run. Do this all over again with some similar names. Tommy McDonough, though, in first for the competitors here in terms of Auburn competitors, 12th out of 34, 14 minutes, 14.9 seconds, which was his best time of the year. Cooper Atkins, 18th, 14 minutes, 35.9 seconds. And then Carson Beddix, 19th, 14 minutes, 36.9 seconds.
For the men's 10,000 meter, again, Carson Beddix competing. So let's think about this.
It hurts my eyes every time I look at it.
Carson competed in the 5,000 and the 10,000. This man did what? 36 laps around that track?
He's got a strong heart. That's all I'm going to say. Literally and figuratively.
Oh, that's true.
See what I did there? It's a double thing, you know.
Wow, my nurse brain is very proud of you. Yeah. Glad his heart is very strong. Men's 10,000 meter. Carson was our only Auburn competitor, placing 11th out of 15 athletes in a time of 30 minutes, 59.3 seconds.
Carson, more power to you, buddy.
Me.
Jeez.
Okay, for men's discus, Ethan Richter, 18th out of 20 competitors with a throw of 47.08 meters. Alex Spiridonidis placing 20th in 45.24 meters.
The hammer throw, 3 people to talk about. 6th out of 14th was Eric Ebel, 67.02 meters. Kyle Brown, 7th, 65.99 meters. And then Kyle Moisen, 8th, 64.01 meters. The high jump now, Dontavius Hill, as we've talked about, 2.21 meters to get him the silver medal at SEC Championships. He's just been what I love about Dontavius is he has been consistent, and I'm not talking about always being number one, but you will find him in 1 or 2, usually, sometimes 3, maybe a little bit lower on occasion, but he's like right in that window every single time, no matter what meet he is at. And we've watched his career grow and get better for a long time now since we've been doing this. So congratulations, Dontavius. TJ Funchess in the high jump, 13th, 2.02 meters. And then David Edmondson also with 2.02 meters in 14th place.
For the men's pole vault, Jason Corson placing 2nd, like we talked about, out of 14 competitors with his best vault of the season, 5.45 meters. Then Matthew Asplin placing 11th in 4.85 meters. For the men's shot put, we had Quentin Wynn placing 14th out of 18 in a throw, almost said in a put, but a throw.
I would have rolled with it if you
of 16.87 meters. Ethan Richter placing 16th in 16.7 meters, and Alex Spiridonidis placing 18th in 13.92 meters.
So if that wasn't unique enough, and I know we've discussed this recently, we've talked about 10,000 meters, and now we're going to talk about another 10. I can't even say it. Wow. The decathlon, we had 2 people compete in that, John Murray and David Edmondson. Now, do we want to read every single one of these? Okay, I didn't think so. So I'll give you all the events, and we will just talk about some things that stick out to us from that. So in the decathlon, it was the 100 meter, 400 meter, 1500 meter, 110 meter hurdles, high jump, pole vault, long jump, shot put, discus, and javelin. Wow, that's a lot of events.
So there were 9 competitors. 2 of them were Auburn athletes. Mm-hmm. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
So John placed 6th and David placed 7th. John had 7,073 points and David had 6,891 points.
So many points. We just got done talking about a 10,000 meter run, and now I'm talking about 6,000, 7,000 points. That's just, I know we don't have time to do this, but like I would be curious to know like what the first place got in terms of points. It can't be too far off from them because this is, it's just when you get to that certain amount of points in terms of scoring with all those events, you probably can't go too much higher than that. But I'm just proud to have them representing us. 2 guys, lots of different things that we got to see in this SEC championship. What about the guys? Who stuck out to you other than like the obvious ones? I will give you one. Okay. I'm going to take an easy one from you. Carson Beddix, I think.
That's rude. That is freaking rude.
Well, because it's such a unique thing to see us running in that type of event in SEC championships. And the fact that he did, the 2 longest events is really incredible for him.
Okay, that's fair. Well, I'm going to pick Ryan Kinane in the 1,500 meter because he ran almost his fastest of the season, but he made it to finals. So obviously this is the second time he had to run in that event that weekend.
That's true.
So I feel like if he makes it to the NCAAs that he is going to kill it.
Right. I guess that's the big question, Jess. How many think we're putting in the NCAAs?
I'm going to go with a minimum of 7.
7?
7.
So by my count here, I'm going to actually try to do this live here. You're saying Maddie, Ashley, Joyce, maybe Maura, since these are all our, gold medalists from the SEC.
Right.
Probably
Dontavius.
James, maybe
Yeah.
Presley.
Oh, Presley for sure.
So that's how many? That's 7.
That's 6.
That's 6. We might find
7.
Yeah.
Mm.
So if
I
you're
think that was 7.
that might be 7.
Our math is hard.
But that you can make a good case for that.
For sure.
I'm gonna not to be contrarian, but I'm just gonna, so we can have differences. I'm just gonna say the 6 make it. That's my expectations. But we've had a lot of great athletes this entire season, make it much further, do much bigger things than we were expecting them to do at times.
Yep.
So maybe we'll have more representation there. I'm
Yeah.
excited for
So-
NCAAs.
And obviously the NCAAs are in Eugene, Oregon, of course.
Of course.
Of course. They'll be June 8th through the 11th. So we look forward to talking about that after that.
Spread the wealth, Oregon. I mean, gosh.
No, that's where it always is. There has to be some consistency.
I know. It's kind of like the pin relays. It's, you always have to have
Durr.
that.
All right, well, that's all we have for the SEC Championship episode. So, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode on the E2C Network. On your way out, I want to remind you to stop by e2cnetwork.com. It's your one-stop shop for all our content across our podcast, YouTube channel, and much more. To stay up to date with us, make sure you're following social media accounts such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. While our content here may always be Auburn sports heavy, if it's orange and blue, it's what we do. War Eagle.